Hey, what's up, guys? It is Pastor Bronson here, and I'm so excited for tonight. We're going to be breaking off into our life groups depending on what grade you're in with your life group leaders. It's going to be so rad to get back to a little bit of normalcy when it comes to this. And today or tonight, I think it's dark out right now. I don't know. The time's changing, whatever. But we're going to be talking about being locked down and bored. I don't know about you, but there have been many a times over the past 5 weeks where I have just sat and said, I am so bored. Just so bored. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm tired of doing all the things I'm already doing, and that is why I'm actually bored. Give me a little chat in the comment to say if you've been bored or yes, or just say, yes, I have been bored. That way we get that kind of alive. Also, if you're just now joining in, welcome. We're so glad you are here. Hopefully, you're not too late. If you guys haven't heard, by the way, we are no longer going by Bayside Church in Citrus Heights. We are now Heights Church. I think that's super rad because we're now creating something new. Oftentimes we talk about being authentic, and if things aren't perfect, that's okay. It's all about just starting in the beginning, and we're actually really going to be talking about that a lot today. Now, one of the things that I've been thinking about lately is how it was only 5 weeks ago that all of a sudden we got put on lockdown. We thought it wasn't going to be something that it was that long, really. In the beginning, we thought it was going to be like 2 weeks, and then boom, all of a sudden, 2 weeks went by, and we got to wait longer. It is pretty crazy. But now, what are we going to do? How are we adjusting to this new normal? Because we don't know when it's actually going to be done, but we can stay positive and hopeful. But over the past 5 weeks, I found myself saying, I'm kind of bored right now. And it's time to pick up a new hobby. And I believe, like most millennials or 20 something year olds, we're going to come out of this quarantine knowing how to actually cook. Yeah, before this, I'll tell you this. The best thing I can make probably was a real good peanut butter and honey sandwich. And on a real fancy night, I might have like heated up the oven and made some pizza rolls. I know, real bougie. It's crazy. Now, with this whole quarantine lockdown thing, I have been getting a little bit better. In fact, me and my roommates, we have all together been getting a little bit better at this thing called cooking. Now, I know what some of y'all are probably thinking. Bronson, I really don't care to hear about your cooking or you getting better at cooking or because whatever, that sounds really boring. Because I was in junior high one time and hearing about cooking really didn't excite me either. But let's not really focus on about the cooking aspect, but more so focus on the fact that I'm learning a new hobby or learning something new. Now, one of the funniest things that's happened is me trying to cook a hamburger. It sounds really simple, right? But I don't know about you. I like a very specific burger. And when I think about hamburgers, it's undoubtedly, no question, that the best burger in town. And if you somehow are watching this and you don't live in California or on the West Coast, we're sorry, we're praying for you. But the best burger, hands down, is In-N-Out. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or if you think there's a better burger. But I'm pretty sure, in fact, I'm 100% sure that the best burger in town is In-N-Out. And if you don't agree, well, I'll be praying for you. No, I'm just playing. But there's nothing like an In-N-Out burger. I mean, the thickness of it, along with some of the other things, the bun, oh, dude, don't even get me started. So my roommate and I were trying to figure out how to make a burger like In-N-Out's. We're watching so many videos on YouTube. I love YouTube. If it wasn't for YouTube during this quarantine, I might actually go crazy. You know what I'm saying? No, okay. I'm not alone. Whatever. But we started off by using the grill because we're thinking this is a manly thing to do. You hear about making barbecue burgers, it's like a summertime thing. What we found out is that a grill for thin patties like that doesn't work out well. In fact, I took some meat, right, to cook, and it ended up looking like a skateboard wheel. Not a longboard wheel, it's very different, like a skateboard wheel. It's embarrassing. Anyways, So we go inside to the stove top and we have this like flat iron thing, and I kid you not, the craziest thing happened. I'm sitting there pressing down on the patty like it's supposed to be at In-N-Out, and all of a sudden flames come shooting up nearly 2 feet high, and I look over to my roommate in absolute shock. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? What is going on? Man, it was a crazy time. I just burped, and that's gonna be on here because I'm 5.5 minutes in, and I'm gonna leave it. So, rip in the chat. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments if you forgive me for that because it's kind of gross. Now, here's what I want to tell you guys today. During this whole time of being locked down, I have had the opportunity to get better at something. And here's what I want you guys to hear me say to you today is this: you are gifted. You're gifted. You all have gifts. Every single one of us in this Zoom meeting, and anybody that attends junior high or goes to school with you, you all are gifted. God has gifted you in a certain way. I can't tell you how many times people have come up to tell me after a Sunday, if I do communion or share a message, wow, Bronson, you are so gifted in speaking. It's not trying to flex. I'm just trying to give you guys an example. You're so gifted in speaking, blah, 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 blah. And all the time, all I want to say is, yeah, I'm not that good. Thank you so much. But really what plays in my head is, if you only knew how many hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and I can't even say enough hours of practice I have actually put into gifting. It's not something that I just like flipped a switch and it was on. No, it took absolutely forever in my eyes. Oftentimes. Hey, Jake, can you hear me? Jake, hold on real quick. Hey. He can't hear me. We're gonna keep on filming because like we're hanging out together. This is the reality. Sometimes things happen. Anyways, what were we talking about? Being gifted. Hours and hours. I'm just playing. I'm not gonna do it again. But it takes a lot of work, and oftentimes when we think about being gifted by God, we don't think that it actually is gonna be difficult to be able to use our gifts and have fun with it. The reality is, I believe that God has gifted me in speaking, but I also know that there is a lot of work that comes into it. It wasn't fun the first time I ever did it. Without a doubt, it wasn't fun. But it did become more fun the more work I put into it, the easier it became. Now, if you're wondering to yourself, am I actually gifted? Or I thought I was gifted in something and then I wasn't as good as someone else. So am I actually gifted? There is a verse in the Bible that talks specifically about gifts. We're going to look at it real quick. 1 Corinthians 7:7 says, "But each of you has your own gift from God. One has this fit, another has that." Two things I want you guys to take away from this is this. One, you have your own gift. You have your own gift. That verse was very clear in the beginning part. And the second thing is this. Others have their own gift. Now let's fall back to the first thing. You have your own gift. Like I said before, it took absolutely forever and ever to be able to be good with my gift. Now I believe God gifted me with it, but I still had to put a lot of work into it. Now, the other one is this. Others have their own gift. And this is where I really want to kind of speak to you guys today. Oftentimes, we think that because we're not good at something, we don't have as much value. I can't tell you how many times my friends and I have all picked up the same hobby, and there's always 1, 2, or maybe 3 of them that are instantly good. Like really, really good. Like to the point where like you don't even want to try. Like it's been 5 minutes and they're killing it. Rather it's Fortnite, playing basketball, or maybe it's just simply having more friends. I want you guys to write something down today and write this down. If you aren't as good as someone else at something, it doesn't lessen your value. I'm going to say this one more time. If you aren't as good as someone else at something, it doesn't lessen your value at all. Now, oftentimes in middle school, we try to determine our own value based off of what we're good and what we're not good at. In fact, like I said before, when we try to do things with our friend groups, like let's say Fortnite, if we can't even get 5 kills in a game, we think we're less valuable. Or simply, if we're playing basketball or some type of sport with our friends, if we can't make a shot, maybe we don't even make a single shot in our game, we think that we're not as valuable. But let me tell you this, you are valued regardless if you're good at something or not. And if I'm gonna be really honest, a lot of us try to find our value within relationships in junior high. And let me tell you this, and I want to be loud and clear about something. Your value isn't lessened, or you don't have less of a value if you're not in a dating relationship. Your value is not determined by your relationship status. You're valued regardless if you're in a relationship or not. And where is our value determined by? Well, it's very simple. God determines our value. Well, Bronson, I hear this all the time, that God's the one that determines my value. I've heard it in children's ministry and other people who says that. But how does God actually determine our value? How are we actually valued? One of the most iconic verses in the Bible, I almost fell over, explains it clearly. And oftentimes we miss it. And it's in John 3:16, and it says this: "For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish." So let me tell you where you fall in that. It says, so whoever. It doesn't say only certain people. It says whoever believes in him. You are that whoever. And God loves you so much that he sent his only Son. Now, how does that actually compare to my value? Or what does that have to do with my value? Well, the truth is we value what we love. And that verse clearly states that God loves you so much that he gave his only Son up for you, for whoever. We value what we love. And if God determines our value is determined by what God loves. And God loves you so much that he was willing to give up his one and only Son. So what do? What are we walking away with? What are we going to do over the next 7 days until we meet again via Zoom and have another message? Well, I got 2 challenges for you today. Not 1, but 2. And it's this. The first one is to find a new hobby. I'm going to tell you this right now. I am not even close to even being good at cooking. And it has been like 4 weeks. I thought I could survive off of frozen pizza and other things like that over the first week, and pizza rolls. That ain't happening, Chief. So we started actually cooking, and I am not even close to good, but I'm starting to find enjoyment out of cooking because I'm seeing where I am getting better. Start a new hobby. The second is this: reach out and encourage a friend who is doing the same thing. The likeliness is you're going to have another person in here that you're in a Zoom group with that's in your same grade, or is a boy and you're a boy, or is a girl and you're a girl. Choose one of those people in this Zoom group and either set a new Zoom meetup hangout with you two, or exchange numbers and encourage one another. There's a verse in the Bible that I want to share with you guys that's important right now, and it's 1 Thessalonians 5:11. And it says this: encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. Reach out to one of your friends and encourage them in their new hobby. The odds are this might not be your hobby or your gift set or what you're really, really good in. And it's okay to try on something new. But I want you guys to promise me something in this challenge. Promise me over the next 7 days that you're actually going to stick with your new hobby. Sometimes it's tough to stick with something for more than 7 days. I've heard that a habit starts by doing it 3 weeks straight. Part of being good at a new hobby is creating a habit out of it. So, find your new hobby and reach out to a new friend. Guys, enjoy your Zoom group. This has been fantastic, and we will see you later.